Yeah. Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Today on Totem. Today, like always, we got Eric.
How you guys doing?
Remember, guys, like, share, subscribe, share it to somebody if you think it brought you value. We're all on all our platforms as Totem Podcast. Check it out. And remember, an act of rebellion is to question. So today, how this segment works, we kind of bring you some topics, give you guys our point of view. You guys we just plant the little seed. We let you guys do your exploring on your own, you know. But so today's I got today's topic, Eric. We'll start off with Bitcoin. I don't know how familiar you are with the Bitcoin stuff.
I've known it's dropped in the past couple months. That's about it.
It got some changes. Like, I mean, a couple of years ago, people were like, Bitcoin is nothing. It started out as like really, really cheap. And then it went up, and it was like the biggest thing, like tech, like the way to be able to pay for stuff. Like,
it's gonna be like the new money.
San Salvador's the Bitcoin city. Like, they got all this going. They got the stuff going on behind it, like the hype. Going on behind it, starts rising. It gets up over, I believe it was over 60K. And then the last couple months has just been going down and down and down. Here I got some stuff right here. And so right now Bitcoin's at 18,100. It was almost at 60.
Dang.
And this wasn't within so we're looking at, let me see which one's the most recent, I guess it could be. And it depends exactly which one you kind of look at. But some of them, let's just not get too crazy. Let's just go back to April. In April, it was over 47,000 in April.
It's still a drop from over 60, but it's not as big of a drop to go all the way.
Yeah, it's 47. Okay, it dropped a little bit. I mean, everything goes up and down. And it was expected, stuff, the whole market, not just Bitcoin. But I think it's because Bitcoin was kind of started going, the cryptocurrencies were kind of like a hype fad, this one's good.
Kind of like the main.
And then disappeared. And then this one's good and then disappeared. Depends when the Shiba, the Ethereum, like, it just depends which one. But what's your take on this, Eric? What do you think? What's your take on this cryptocurrency stuff?
Well, as far as like Bitcoin, I view Bitcoin as more of an investment opportunity for people, and not like that thing that's gonna replace cash or money or any of that. I think there's like other like cryptocurrencies that might be better suited for stuff like that. Like one of the ones you mentioned, Ethereum. That one is projected to be more of like have the capacity to like take over it. But Bitcoin's just like popular because it's like one of the first ones. But
there's some places like that people can pay with Bitcoin.
Is there?
I mean, there's some like speakers that I know. They're like, okay, they paid me in Bitcoin.
How do you even like pay someone in Bitcoin? Is it like a Cash App Venmo type thing?
Let's just hope they paid you like when it was good, because if they gave you one Bitcoin,
not today.
Yeah, if they pay you in Bitcoin, we're gonna pay you one Bitcoin, and then 3 months go by and it was really good. You're like, all right, it's almost 60K. I'm down. And then now they pay you and it's 18,000. Like, oh, hey, dude, this is a third of what I was supposed to be getting.
And that's why I view it more as like an investment for people, not really being able to replace something, because the value of Bitcoin is kind of like decided by the stock market, whether it goes up and down. And for something to replace like cash or something, and it has to be, I feel it has to be like a little bit more stable than that. Like, obviously cash right now, where inflation is not as stable because everything's like inflated. But it has to be more stable than from being at worth 60K within the last year, or in April being worth 47K and now being worth 18K. Just Two months later?
Let me push back on that a little bit. Cool, they could say that on the dollar too. What is it? With 60% of the money has been printed the last 2 years. So do you think this can be? And that was the dollar. Do you think this can be a transition? Like the dollar's no value. Let's kind of start getting Bitcoin in there now. The cryptocurrencies, because the dollar's not is worthless now. It's starting to get to that point. I don't know how far it'll go, but
that's actually a pretty good point. It's because like the most of like the U.S. currency that we have, like cash, has been printed within like the last few years, and that's
the last two.
Exactly with this COVID nonsense. But it could be a way for them to kind of like try and swap it out, but I still don't like really see it as being able to replace.
Or maybe not replace, cash, but like it's a process. So maybe kind of have them both going in, and then slowly one takes over. Because obviously it's not going to be night and day. Like, sorry guys, you don't have Bitcoin, you can't buy these burgers today. Sorry, I don't think it's like that. But
I think eventually it'll get there, but it's not something that's going to happen within the next 5 or 10 years. It's going to take. I think it's going to take much longer than that, because first of all, you have to be able to educate people on like what Bitcoin is and how to actually properly use it.
And how do you educate the people on it? I think people kind of just have to educate themselves on it. Like
they do kind of have to educate themselves, but then if the government wants this to be something new that's going to take over, they have to implement like their own strategies to educate people. Like for example, you said San Salvador, the capital of the Bitcoin world. A lot of people who actually, because the president gave them like a couple Bitcoin or like a percentage of a Bitcoin or something.
Yeah, they got some money in Bitcoin. I believe it was like $50, $100.
Yeah, and wasn't it a lot of people, instead of like actually saving it and be able to and actually using it properly, they just sold it right away and just got those $50.
Yeah, let's cash it out, baby. We got some free money. Let's go. Let's get it.
Yeah,
but then
the Bitcoin capital of the world.
But then I can see. Okay, I can see completely your take. But then it's like, usually the higher ups and the government stuff, like, we're doing this, but they're a step ahead. Like, they want to feel secure before they release it out to the news or just anything, but stuff like this. So they're in a good position.
Who?
Like, say the government people, the people like in charge of that place or whatever, that run the stuff. Let's make it the Bitcoin. Yeah, they did it. People got rid of their Bitcoin, and then say, we gave it to them. They got rid of their Bitcoin. I took everyone's Bitcoin. I bought it really cheap or whatever, or however they got it. And now that person's loaded because they have a lot of Bitcoin, and now they can just like wash their hands and say, we gave you the opportunity.
We tried, and then it's up to you failed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's the thing, kind of what I can say here. Like, people kind of have to educate themselves, because they can just kind of be like, once they release it, like, if they would go that route and release it, they're going to be well positioned, I think. They're not just going to be like, here you go. Yeah, like, they're not going to bring the pizza to the table and then be like, no, I don't want any. No, they already ate a pizza in the car.
They have their own pizza in the car, and they're like, this is for you.
Yeah.
Well, like, in order for this to be like rolled out like as an actual like currency, it'll have to be like that. Some people already have to have, they have some like security in it, have some backing with it, and then if everybody else didn't learn about it, oh well, too bad. Shits and giggles.
But then it's another big topic that goes with that. A lot of people are saying, like, it's a stock. Like you're saying, it goes up and down. The stocks, other stuff do that too, But then it's like, say, Walmart. Walmart's backed with stores. What backs up Bitcoin? Like a hard asset. That's the hardest people like have. Like,
what's like the same
across? Like, I need a hard asset saying that this is worth this. This is worth $10 because it's a water bottle or whatever. That's the hardest thing with crypto. Like, it's worth $60,000, like $50,000.
Same thing, crypto and NFTs.
Yeah, and like what makes it. So, and then the other where it goes is like, people are like, it has to have regulations. What's your take on that? Like they say it has to have regulations, but how do you regulate something that you can't really see or control or have in a wallet or like hold in your hand? What do you think? How do you regulate that?
I don't think you really can regulate it because you can try and regulate it maybe by like with having like certain like algorithms in place to kind of like control stuff or whatever, but then is it actually going to be able to like work on a big scale or something, or if you really try to regulate some stuff like that, then is the government stepping in too much to control its people? Does the government going to be overstepping?
Because supposedly it's like it's a private company, supposedly, right? Isn't it? Like, or no? I mean, I don't know too much into depth, but it's
But if it is a private company, then how can a private company control
that's exactly
a currency
what I'm saying.
for like?
So then the government gets into it. So then the government got some skin in the game with the Bitcoin. So they're gonna.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like a never-ending game. Like I don't know.
It's like the same
I don't know a
thing
solution
with
for it, but
with like NFTs and like virtual property, you can buy virtual property if you want to now.
Yeah, you can. I don't know where it is, but yeah, you can buy some.
You can buy some, and I don't know why it's worth millions of dollars if it's virtual. You can just make some more, can't you?
Technically, you should.
So then it starts getting to the whole virtual thing. Like, how does it actually work?
I don't know.
That's something that I don't know, and
we need to get our
our
metaverse specialist or our Bitcoin specialist here to kind of educate us on those stuff, right? Because I mean, I know we're pretty educated on some of the stuff, but I mean, it's not like a specialist, to kind of breaking it down for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, if it's fine with you, we'll move on to the next topic. Something that kind of took the country by storm here the past few weeks. That's the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it was like a 6-week long case that went on. I'm pretty sure you heard about it. Pretty sure everybody at home heard about it because it was all over the news.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so Johnny Depp prevailed in his 3 counts of defamation against Amber Heard, and he was awarded $15 million. The 7-person jury also decided that Depp, through his lawyer Adam Waldman, defamed Heard on 1 of her 3 counts of her countersuit, and she was awarded $2 million. So he won like the main thing, but she won like a little piece. So he won 15.
The crumbles.
Yeah, she got the crumbles. So all in all, it's like a 13 mil difference that Amber Heard owes Johnny Depp on his defamation case. And it wasn't just a defamation case because it was a defamation case, but behind it was the reason because like it was a domestic abuse case also intertwined with it.
Okay.
And then they decided that Amber Heard did all this stuff to Johnny, and then she pretty much threw his ass to the dogs. Like she pretty much fucked up his whole career.
She tried to fuck him over and got fucked over. I mean, fucked his shit up too, but
yeah.
Because I mean, it's 15 mil minus the 2, say 13, whatever. I don't know if it was like that, or was it the 15 that she owes him now?
She owes him 15. He owes her 2.
So it's like 13.
Yeah.
So he gets 13. Then it sounds like a lot of money, but it's not that much money, because he lost his contracts with Disney, all these that he would do, Pirates of the Caribbean,
everybody fucking
the Alice in Wonderland, like all these movies that he had going, they let him go. Dude, he'll make way more than that just with one of them, with one movie. So I mean,
yeah.
It sounds like yes, he comes out on top, but I mean, he still lost. In that aspect, he still lost, but then he still won. He was not gonna go down.
He's not gonna go down without a fight, without actually letting the world know what actually happened and who she actually is as a person.
What's your take on kind of the whole turnout of the whole event, or how?
Well, I think this is a huge win for men everywhere, because now in today's society, it's women empowerment, women do this. Some women such as Amber are taking things too far and think they can get away with saying that, oh, this guy he abused me, but then in reality he didn't. And I feel like more like women nowadays think they can then get away with more of that stuff. And now it's like, this is kind of like a sign to the men, like, no, if you're going through something like this is your time to like step up, speak out, and defend yourself. Like, not just because you're a man, you're gonna get found guilty for stuff like this. Like, there is hope for you.
Yeah, I just think it's like interesting, the whole like how it all turned out, you know, because I think that's kind of like in the celebrity world, or even just not in the celebrity world, in other people's, in the average person's world, what is documented and put out into the world, say your social media, it's like, it's a nice happy life, everything's cool. What happens when the doors close and you're in the house? Like,
and I think that's
it's just chaos.
One of the reasons there was cameras in the courtroom, because it was Johnny Depp who wanted to have the cameras in the courtroom. Amber, she didn't want to have cameras, but then Johnny got to have these cameras in the courtroom, so like the people like could actually see what was going down. They could actually see like her reactions as she's doing her testimonies. They could see his reactions as they're doing his testimonies, and then people can know more for certain other than what the media would put out.
Because if he would say if he would lose, but then people kind of saw the whole thing behind it, they'd be like, dude, everybody knows he didn't lose.
Especially now in time with like the media, like, can you really trust media or not? Because like,
is that legal? Like me, is that legal? Like, do people just decide if it's okay for them to have cameras, like a mutual thing? Because supposedly it's like you're not supposed to have cameras or phones and all that shit in there. But
I think if at least one party wants to have cameras in there, and then they make a case for it, like with the judge, and then the judge like approves it, then it's good. But if both parties don't want it, then I think that's when they just have like the sketch artists in there and stuff. But yeah, like in this like day and age, like media, you don't know if you can trust it or not. Say if Amber would have won, but then everybody's actually seeing the case, it's like, are you serious? Or not even if he would have won, but if like this media source is saying one thing, but everybody else is watching something else, then that media source.
Are we watching the same show? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Like, these guys are saying like, this.
Then that's
so that's good. That's good on his part, then, huh?
Yeah. And then it also like raises the question, like, what happens with their careers now going forward? Because everybody thought like, oh, Johnny Depp, he's an abuser, he's this or whatever. Like, obviously, he had like, neither of them have had the perfect life. He had a pretty like shitty childhood growing up. But like going forward,
just like everybody, I think everyone.
Yeah,
has.
no one's perfect. But going forward, like, what happens to their careers now that he was thrown through the mud, and now he's like, oh, he really didn't like do this, and then she was like all high and tight, and now she did this. Like, what happens now?
I think for her it's gonna be hard to be able to get like other gigs. Cause like she's like that, dude. She's like that with the person she was like sleeping with, but like, you know, your husband, whatever. How's she gonna be to like a stranger? That's how you are at home. How are you gonna be a stranger like when you're trying to work with them and they don't like something, and then like him, it's just like people might be like, oh yeah, they feel bad for him, but yeah, we still can't hire you. You had too much like negative stuff going on. Like, yeah, maybe let's wait it out for like a couple years. You know, maybe we'll bring you. But I see it very hard for him still to get those like big gigs, those Disney gigs and all that.
I feel like certain like, I guess content or movies or content shows geared towards more kids, it'll be harder for him to get gigs.
Yeah.
Because it's just like of everything that happened. But for like stuff that's more for like adults or whatever, I feel like he'll get back into it. Probably not at the same level he was, but just because like all the support right now is for Johnny for like supporting him, I feel like he'll get something, and probably not right away because he still has to, you know, you just went through like an emotional trial.
And
it's
gonna
take
like,
time to recover from that.
The thing is like, and does he want to like?
And does he want to? Maybe he's just like done with it now.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be pretty hard for him just to be completely done with it. But I mean, I think it's the biggest question. Like, does he want to keep doing it? Does he want to keep? Because Because he was out like, dude, that thing was going on nonstop for the 6 weeks.
And then for Amber, I view it as like she's done.
I think she's done too.
Because everybody saw her like being
She has
fake or whatever. Everybody, like most people, not everybody, but a lot of people really, really dislike her. And if someone hires her to be like in a movie, people are not gonna watch the movie just because she's in it.
There's a lot of people like, I don't know if this movie's good or not, but most of them they are. But like Tom Cruise is in it, so like I'm watching it, or you know, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then it'll be the same way, like she's in it, you know, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, and I feel like Hollywood won't really take that chance, at least right now. Maybe later on they'll give her a chance, but at least right now for like the next few years,
they got to be
next
desperate.
5-10 years.
They got to be desperate. I think they got to be really desperate to make that happen.
Yeah, and yeah, and I just want to say some quick too about like the lawyers that Johnny Depp had, because everybody knows his lawyer Camille Vasquez, because everybody's like, oh, there's something going on between them because she's all hot looking and all this stuff. But like in the clips that they would show like from the actual trial, you could see like Camille really like interrogating Amber when she was on the stand.
Put her on blast.
What do you think would have been the reaction if you have a male asking those hard ass questions to a female like that?
Oh, dude, you would have got smashed. They would have slapped you around and drug you through the mud.
They would have turned it right back around on them.
They'd have been like, "You piece of shit."
So that was very like smart of their lawyer team putting a female in that position,
or Johnny
asking those questions.
Maybe Johnny was the one who's like, "Hey, this is I know her. Like, this is what we got to do to break her." Mm-hmm. I don't know, like.
Yeah.
No, you would have got, you know how this whole thing, like, polarization, like, dude, it would have been horrible.
Yeah. It would not have been, I don't think it would have turned out the way
especially,
it did.
like, the way how stuff is going now, like, dude, I'm even surprised, like, he won, like, even because now it's, like, the woman empowerment, you got to back them up, and just, like,
yeah,
dude.
And to have another woman attacking Amber, who's a woman, going head-to-head, kind of evens the playing field, which is why I think he won.
Yeah, because it evens the playing field. Yeah, for sure. I think that's huge.
But yeah, that was one of the big topics that was on everybody's feed for the past 6+ weeks.
Oh yeah. No.
So yeah.
No, that's good. Yeah. So over here, moving on to this to the next topic we got, Eric. So like we've talked in other episodes in the past, we're talking about the mortgage interest rates and stuff like that. But the mortgage rates, how it's been going, it's crazy. It's just crazy how it's been in the last couple months, honestly. Right now we're seeing, where is it at?
Because weren't interest rates like really low? Everybody's buying a house, that's why.
So interest rates, I'm just looking at some numbers right now. 2021 July, middle July, was 2.2%.
So about a year ago.
Yeah, about a year ago. And so it's been going up more. There's a chart that I have right here, and it's just skyrockets. It's just going up like for like the first couple months to like September. It's good. December, still, you know, it was going up like from 2.2 to like 2.5, bad down to 2.3.
So it's more stable.
Yeah, but then once it hit this year, it went from in January 13, pretty much the beginning of the year was like 2.5, and then after that it just skyrockets. Right now, just some of them. I mean, it kind of goes off the people's credit too, you know. So I mean, you can't really.
Yeah.
That's the hard thing. People are like, oh, I want that.
But then they have a $200 or 200 credit score.
Yeah. So, but right now we're looking at what's it at right now? 5.8, an average, depending on what area you're at. But the average is like around 5.8.
Over double from.
Oh yeah.
From January even. Not even like a year.
Yeah, and the last it's over double. It's up 2.85%.
Dang.
In the last year. So I think that's like the biggest thing. I saw a video. Shout out to PBD.
PBD.
I'm pretty sure you saw it too. He's talking about how if you guys aren't educated as much on it yet, you should. The way to control inflation keeps going up. The mortgage rates, the interest rates are here. So it causes inflation because you can buy more stuff because there's no interest rate. So the way to control the inflation is to raise the interest rate. Inflation's like through the roof right now.
Yeah,
Is here. The thing is that interest rates is here and inflation's not going down. And that's when you got the problem. That's when we're like we've talked in the past and other ones like the value of your dollar.
Why isn't it going down though?
That's a good question.
What's causing it to keep
That's a good question.
It where it's at?
That's a great question. And I think it's one of the biggest things, like the value to the dollar. Like it sucks, but it's gonna. I think the economy is gonna start going through a really hard time, and you're gonna start seeing it like in the third quarter. Because it's right now, it's not completely there yet. People don't feel it yet. It's gonna come. It's gonna come. And the things like, what side of the playing field do you want to be on? Because it's gonna come. But yeah, I just think what's your take on stuff like that?
Well, it's like everything you're saying it sounds like logically like interest rates are up, which is supposed to cause inflation to control inflation or to keep it down. But then what I'm wondering is like, why is inflation going down, or do interest rates have to be just much higher than what it currently is to make it go down?
Oh, they got to be way higher. Let me read you this one.
But if they got to be way higher, then yeah, like the economy is going to suffer a little bit. I mean, with every time there's like a spike, it has to like come down a little bit before it can go back up.
Yeah. So another article, it's kind of on the same stuff. Goldman Sachs. You guys, I hope you guys know who they are. If you don't, it's one of the biggest banks systems out there. Goldman Sachs. They put this out. It's not like they just put it out last week. They put this out since February. They've been saying that it's going to have to go up at least 7 times to be able to contain this inflation.
7 times?
Yeah, at least.
So it's going to have to go up.
And then I was reading another article. I don't have it right on hand, but it was supposed to go up 18 times more. This was in February. In February, they're already saying it's going up 7 times. I just read one
February,
not too long ago.
What was the interest rate in February? Around 3?
Maybe, if that.
And
they're already saying
it's going to be 21%?
No, I think I don't know if it's like times 7. Like 7 times. Like it went from 7, like from 3 to 3.5 to 4, so that's 2, you know.
Okay.
So I think I think that's what they're talking about. But then these other ones are talking, and that was in February. They're already kind of like letting it easy on you, like, hey, but it's going to go up 7 times. No, they just came out like a couple of days ago. It's supposed to be up like 18 times now. In February, they said 7 times. Now it's 18 times. Like, oh.
The interest is already higher.
And it's already at 5.8, give or take. So it's like, and that's supposed to go up 18 more times? I don't think people are like, oh, yeah, it's going to get to 8-9% and it's going to calm down. I don't think so. I think it's going to be a little higher than that.
What do you think people should do to kind of prepare for this, or kind of so it wouldn't, because it's going to hit everybody, but how?
Fucking hold on.
Just hold on.
I mean, don't spend your money on stupid shit, I think. I think you just gotta, and it's hard. I mean, you start building a lifestyle, it's hard to get out of. You want to go out and eat, you want to go do this, you want to go do that. And it's just hard to get out of it because you kind of get stuck in that cycle. Like, hey, man, I'm used to at least going out and eating once a week. Like, it's fine. Like, you can do it. Like, but the thing is, can you afford it? Some people, they probably can. There's a lot of people you probably can't. And I just think it's going to be interesting because there's going to be a lot of, if that happens to the inflation, it's a chain reaction. If that happens, businesses take a hit. They have less business or whatsoever, whatever their business is. And if they take a hit, they're not making that much. They had 10 employees, just say like smaller businesses. Now they only have 5. So now I got 5 people without jobs. And COVID relief form is not coming. They're not going to give you that extra cash now.
That shit's dried up already.
So that's kind of what saved, I think, the kind of like little recession that's going on. It was the COVID relief stuff.
Because we were scheduled to have a recession.
Yeah.
Like
I like the word scheduled. Yeah. Fuck, write that shit in. This day it's happening.
Not scheduled, but projected. Like looking back on all like the past years when it's like going on, it was like roughly like every few years, but not scheduled, but like projected.
Write me in, fill it in. But yeah, so I think, that's what kind of did it. And now it's just like, you had kind of, I guess you could say, as an excuse, like, hey, we got this going on, but here's some cash. We got you because it was unexpected. But now it's just like, hey man, we saved you once. I don't know if we can keep saving you guys. And I think it's just gonna be interesting time.
The government can only help you out so much.
I think the best in each industry is going to survive and thrive and even get bigger or grow. And you're going to see the ones that don't. Like
the people who are actually made for it and are the best in their industry are going to be able to survive. And then people who are just not really taking shit seriously aren't going to really.
Yeah, it's just like what were you telling me about that video you saw about the realtors saying like, hey, you should just buy now. You have to buy now.
Yeah, it was like it wasn't just one. It was a few of them that I would just see. Is like realtors like making videos, kind of like I view it as like protecting their ass or like planning for the future. Because they're gonna say
it's sales, dude.
It's sales. They're saying that like
fucking sales
interest rates are here, the price is here. Your monthly payment's gonna be the same as if the value of the home is here now, but the interest rate's here. Like you're still gonna be paying the same, so why not just keep on buying houses right now?
Because it's because they don't get it. They're selling to the person that doesn't know about the stuff. I think
they get it, but they're selling to people who don't know.
Yeah, the value is here, but the interest rates go up. Like, yeah, but then when in a couple of years, like I told you last time, you get that money and then you refinance. Yeah, the interest rates they're at 9 or 10. If you're able to buy something, then they're at 10%. Yeah, and then you wait it out for 4 or 5 years when it went by. You refinanced and now you just got an interest rate of 4, 3, I don't know, 5, half the interest rate. Your bill just went down, but
now you got that cash to be able to.
Yeah, and then especially I think that's when it's going to take a big hit. The all of them, but I think the real estate one is a big one.
Yeah,
in every industry, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I'm going to start doing this. Cool. There's going to be a certain point where just like there's 100 people in the industry, and now there's only like 50 people looking for people in that industry. So now there's 50 left over. And either you're going to have to change industries or you're going to have to do something different. I don't know.
Sharpen your axe.
Yeah, something's going to have to happen, but it's going an interesting route for sure.
Yeah. And the further along we go in this, like we'll keep you guys updated on whether it keeps rising, to what it rises, or if it drops, when it drops, and all that stuff.
Yeah, we'll make a video in 2 years or 3 years when it dropped. 4 years maybe.
Eventually.
Don't wait for that one. Don't wait for that one to come in tomorrow. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But what else? That's all I got for you, Eric, today.
Okay. I think that's good. Just kind of at the same thing we said at the beginning of the video. If you guys like this type of content, this new kind of segment we're doing, make sure to give it a like. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It really helps out. Turn on the bell, the notifications.
And just share it to another person. That's like the only fee we got. Just share it with another person. You don't have to necessarily share it to your pages, your social media, but just share it to another person. Like, hey, you should check out this little short clip we got here, this video, this podcast that you got.
Yeah, we're also on Spotify with the video podcast on there now too.
No, that's good. So yeah, guys, just remember, just an act where you blend is to question. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
See ya.
Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated.